Hi, I'm U.S. Weather Analyst Andrew Fleck, just about your 3:30 p.m. on your Friday afternoon. And what we're seeing here today is, on the weather map, some greens, some yellows, reds, oranges, and even some blue on radar today. And the top story is this Derecho, and this is very impressive. Derecho is a band extending possibly 100 to 500 plus miles of thunderstorms in one band, and that's what you see here extending from Texas all the way up to Ohio. It's pretty impressive. I'm not surprised with this time period in October to be seeing a Derecho. Probably the most common to see is spring, always summer, and always, if little, rarely in the fall time. So again, this is nothing new to me by looking in October when you have a cold air mass pushing in. You can sometimes get this, but something very impressive that I really look at and say, this is a nice little radar image on your Friday afternoon to look at. Certainly, it's not something nice to look at if you're actually down there across the Derechoed area, which is throwing down some tornado possible action, some hail, some strong winds definitely from this. And let's not even forget the heavy rain that came over this part of the area. The extremest, heaviest rain was over this part of the area over yesterday. Areas in that area actually had about 6 to 8 inches of rain. Some areas today with the rivers closest have rivers actually up to moderate stage flooding, and they're still rising. So there's going to be areas into the early weekend that do actually get to major stage flooding. So it's not exactly the best situation for that area in there, but of course I don't think it's going to ruin your whole entire Columbus day. But I do think though it's gonna cause some havoc. So of course watch on to that, and hopefully it's not as bad as the forecasting is predicted for some of those rivers and streams and creeks. So if we look aside of that, we have the low pressure here from that system, and that's going to continue to move to the northeast. This squall line is going to die down, and of course when this high pressure moves out, really you're going to have wetter conditions over the southeast by tomorrow. Even the northeast is going to get wet again. Northeast has been cool. It's been very damp. Hasn't been sunny. It hasn't been hot. Hasn't been real cold and dry either. It's been in that really the worst Friday you could have, that damp, cool, and dry Friday. So that's really not what some folks want to see on a Friday starting a weekend. The other headline is a cold front that's extending like this right now, and that cold front is starting to peak down, and that's the cold front that some people have been talking about for a while now. This is the cold front that's going to bring 20s to 30s highs throughout that area, and there's actually going to be some storm systems that actually come down as well with that front, and that's what we're starting to see now. See some snow over the Dakotas, some soon to be over Nebraska, of course Colorado, Idaho, Montana. You're just gonna have a little bit of a storm system come down. You could call it a Clipper system if you want. Others would argue, but it's gonna drop down a good amount of snow, 1 to 3, 3 to 6 in some spots. So again, in my map that I illustrate, an area in there, okay, does have a pretty good chance of seeing that 1 to 3, 3 to 6 inches of snow. So something that starts your October and winter out a little early over that area. So that really wraps up this today's Friday's weather map discussion. What's going on here, and just sum it up and wrap it up. We have the Derecho over the central Midwest, some damp and cooler weather over the east, and a real cold, and what I mean cold shot pushing through the west. So there's going to be some interesting weather, I think, over the weekend as well. But instead of the big thunderstorms, warmer weather, and flooding, I think it's going to do more with the colder weather and the snowier side. So that's a wrap for your Friday's U.S. weather map analyst discussion. I'm U.S. weather analyst Andrew Fleck. Have a nice day, and also, folks, don't hesitate to check out my weather model discussion below this. So again, have a nice Friday, and I'll talk to you guys soon.